The moment a parent called me a temporary teacher looking for a husband, I walked out of the conference. Now the principal says I need to apologize for being unprofessional. After 8 years of teaching, 4 education awards, and over $40,000 in student loan debt for my master's degree, I never expected my career to be reduced to a sexist stereotype during a routine parent conference. Yesterday started like any other conference day. My classroom was organized with student portfolios ready, fresh coffee for parents, and my professional development certificates displayed on the wall behind my desk. I'd prepared specific feedback for each student, including areas of growth and personalized strategies. When Mr. and Mrs. Reynolds arrived to discuss their son Tyler's recent academic slide, I began with my usual approach, highlighting his strengths before addressing concerns. Tyler has brilliant analytical skills but had missed 6 assignments this quarter and seemed increasingly disengaged. Tyler's essay on Steinbeck showed exceptional critical thinking. I began showing them his earlier grade work. However, I'm concerned about these incomplete assignments and his participation. Is anything happening that might be affecting his focus? Maybe if your class wasn't so female-centered, he'd be more interested. All these books with women protagonists. Parry, what happened to Hemingway? I explained our curriculum includes diverse perspectives, including 4 male authors this semester alone. Before I could finish, Mrs. Reynolds cut in. Tyler says you clearly favor the girls. He raised his hand for 20 minutes last week and you never called on him. I started to explain my random calling system using popsicle sticks with student names, but Mr. Reynolds leaned forward, his voice dropping condescendingly. Look, we understand you're just doing this teaching thing until you find a husband and have kids of your own. But our son needs someone committed to education, not playing school until her real life begins. The room went silent. 8 years of 60-hour weeks, hundreds of recommendation letters, and countless lunch breaks spent helping struggling students beat are all dismissed because of my gender. I stood up, gathered my materials, and said I think we should continue this conversation when we can focus on Tyler's education rather than my personal life or teaching abilities. Please contact the principal to reschedule in the teacher's lounge afterward. Opinions were split. Some colleagues applauded my boundary setting, while others suggested I should have educated them through their ignorance for Tyler's sake. This morning, my principal called me in. The Reynolds had filed a complaint about my emotional reaction and inability to take constructive feedback. He suggested I apologize to keep the peace and be the bigger person. I'm drafting an email to the principal, instead attaching my teaching credentials, performance reviews, and student success statistics. I'm also requesting that any future conferences with the Reynolds include an administrator. I became a teacher to inspire critical thinking and create a respectful learning environment. Allowing that disrespect to continue would have taught Tyler the exact opposite lesson. Sometimes the most important thing we teach students isn't in any textbook parenthood, it's showing them what dignity looks like in the face of prejudice.